Hello, welcome to Talk of the Town. Thanks so much for tuning in. We have a fabulous show for you, as always. We're going to introduce you to some fantastic local business owners in the area. And right now, I'd love for you to meet Sue Peck. She's the owner and founder of Evolution Financial. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Lots to chat about. Now, one of the things that you're able to do, of course, is give financial information. But in lieu of all of the emergencies that are happening, both weather and other, this is a time to talk about that as well, and really how that's connected to your finances.
Absolutely.
So what's the first thing you talk to with people about protecting themselves from emergencies?
So one of the best things you can do is have an emergency fund. This is something that you have in your back pocket. You have 6 to 12 months of essential spending. This is your rent, this is your mortgage, these are your utilities, the food, car payments, things like that. Things that should anything go wrong, you want to be sure you have the money to be able to pay for all of those. So this is there if an appliance goes out, or should you lose your job. You have this money set aside, so it's not a panic situation. You have the money.
Yeah, it's really interesting how connected financial planning is to the unexpected, because you need to plan for those things. Let's talk a little bit about protecting your credit and how that's related.
So you want to make sure that no one's doing anything with your credit that you don't know about, right? So you want to have credit there. It's also, kind of an emergency fund should the emergency fund go away. So you can go to annualcreditreport.com and you can take a look at all 3 of the credit agencies and make sure that no one's opening credit in your name. Everything that's there is something that you expected to be there. Another thing you can do is you can freeze your credit, and that way neither you nor anybody else can open credit in your name.
Yeah, you want to make sure there's no surprises on that credit report. How about insurance? Let's discuss the relationship here and how you're able to advise people.
Right, so insurance is something that you want to shop around. You might have insurance, but you want to make sure that the coverage you have still applies to what you own. So you want to take a look and make sure that your homeowner's insurance, did you add on to your home? You want more homeowner's insurance. Something that people forget about is umbrella insurance. That protects you even further outside of your homeowner's insurance and your auto insurance. Disability insurance is something that people also don't think about. And now, given everything that's going on in our environment, flood insurance is something that people want to start looking into if they are in the new floodplains.
And that's one of the things that you're able to do is we're really talking about the total financial picture. So not just investments, which you might think about, but all of these other factors. That being said, let's talk about investments.
Right. So one of the things you want to do with your investments is make sure that the way you're invested is a way that you're comfortable with. A lot of people say, they ask their friends, how should I invest in my 401k? Well, your friend might be more risk tolerant than you are. So you want to make sure that the mix that you have of stocks and bonds is something that you're comfortable with, and it's not something that if there's market volatility, you're freaking out every other minute going, my money is moving around so much. Maybe you shouldn't be invested that much in the stock market if that's the case. So you want to have the right mix.
Okay, moving on to something people that don't think about when it comes to protecting their assets. I'm curious, what are some of the top things we forget?
So one of the things that people forget when it comes to protecting their assets is thinking about what happens if anything happens to you. So you want to have a will in place. You want to make sure your beneficiaries are all updated on your accounts. This happens often when people get married, they get divorced, those beneficiaries get out of date. So you want to make sure that all of that is up to date. So where your assets go when you pass away, that's where you want them to be.
Is anyone at home thinking this is overwhelming? Because this is a lot of information.
It is.
So I think the thing that we need to hone in on here before we head to break is just where do you get started to make sure that everything is in place? What's a first step?
So the best way to do this is to get a financial plan done. A comprehensive financial plan is going to look at all of these aspects and make sure, you leave my office with a to-do list of these are the things that you need to do to make sure that you are protected and you are moving in the right direction. So get a plan done.
Really smart. Great way to get going on all of these things. Protect yourself from emergencies and just plan for life. Thank you so much, Sue Peck, for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Again, Sue is with Evolution Financial. You're watching Talk of the Town, and we've got more coming up next.